Hello Scorpio, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Scorpio for the middle of June. So this will be your mid-June monthly bonus reading. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, I do not offer personal readings, and I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scammed. But let's go ahead and get right into this here for you, Scorpio. I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way, and it also ensures that other people who may need to see the message have an opportunity to see the message. Also a link out to my Instagram if you'd like to give me a follow there. Let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Scorpio. Let's make sure everything's in view. All right. Okay. I think that's just about looking good enough to me for right now. Also take 3 of these cards to clarify as we go along. Also take 3 Kipper cards. Put those right there. All right. Energy on the bottom. You have the Hanging Man. So the Hanging Man really says, Scorpio, that you have to let go, okay? You have to let go here. And this says that sometimes in life, we have to give something up to get something else, right? This person, they're not wasting time. In fact, what they're doing is they're kind of contemplating the meaning of life. They're seeking enlightenment in their minds. They're meditating. They're thinking about the universe. However, they're not acting. Right? And so they're not necessarily wasting time, but you can't stay at the Hanging Man energy forever. All right, this is number 12. There are 21, actually 22, because you have to count the Fool, which is 0. Major Arcana, which means you're like basically at the halfway point. And there's a whole kind of next leg of the journey. And so you can't stay here forever, right, when you get the Hanging Man. But it is a necessary sort of point along the hero's journey, along your journey, to contemplate kind of the bigger picture. Eventually, though, what this person needs to do is they need to embrace a transformation in their life, which is the next card, the Death card. And for you, you may be really thinking about the areas in your life here, in June, perhaps further, where, you know what? Maybe I am a little bit attached to this person, to this outcome, to this scenario. Some of you may be really thinking about cutting that cable or cutting that cord of attachment that you have here. So in your current situation, you have the 6 of Pentacles. So there is this message of balance here. There is this message of sort of like weighing, right? Weighing something here, weighing something out. As you can see, the scales on the card. Scales in tarot can represent karma, but it can also represent balance generally. The thing about the 6 of Pentacles is, just like with the Hanging Man, where you have to give something up to get something else, this card actually says that as you give, you receive. Isn't that interesting? So it's this equal exchange of give and receive, this kind of natural law and order, this sort of natural balance within the universe of abundance, right? And so this does not say to give when you cannot give, right? But it does say that, there's good karma around you in your giving. By the way, the 6 of Pentacles doesn't have to be about making a donation, a monetary donation. It can be about showing up for a friend. A friend may, come to you for advice or for help, and you may provide a crying shoulder or a shoulder to cry on for this friend, or you may just provide your friend with good advice, or whatever the case may be here at this time. It's just as an example, or maybe you need to step up for a family member, or a family member is asking you to step up. That can certainly, something like that could certainly be the case. Now, in the problem position, you do have this King of Wands. So normally the King of Wands is one of my favorite cards. It's an entrepreneur in the tarot. I love entrepreneurship. But the King of Wands in the problem position, this can be somebody who is married to their work to the point where it's maybe becoming a detriment in their life. Maybe you're just a little bit too tied to you know what may be happening here is, remember, we have this message here of letting go. We have this message here of you giving. Some of you may be giving too much to your work situation, and that may be straining other areas of your life. That may be straining relationships. That may be straining something else here in your life with the King of Wands energy. Now, in the past, you have the Devil card. So the Devil is really a card of our shadows, okay? This is something that we need to work through in this lifetime. This can come forward when there are, there's just, there may be, I keep saying this word, attachments, but it's so important in tarot. And you just have something here that there may be an attachment to work, okay? The Devil comes in many times when there are addictions, and specifically maybe addiction to work or being overworked, exhausted. I do think that some of you are maybe looking to strike a work-life balance at this time, and that may mean, not picking up the extra shift, or that may mean not taking on the extra project or the extra role, or whatever the case may be for yourself here, Scorpio. Or not taking on the next freelance gig or whatever it is, right? At a certain point, something's got to give, right? Which is another thing with this hanging man. And at a certain point, you got to put a stop to it sometimes. And so some of you here, there's maybe a situation around control from the past that you've recently had to sort of work through and deal with, and so forth and so on, with this Devil energy showing up, okay? Now, in the future, you have the Five of Pentacles. You're concerned that, okay, so here's the thing. This is about your security in the world, okay? Five of Pentacles is about scarcity, but it's almost like some of you feel like if you stop giving, you will no longer have what you have today. You will, there's no other way for me to say that. And so there is this situation here where I think the other thing about this Devil card is it's just negative energy, right? It's just negative thinking. It can come forward when there's just thoughts that are occupying your mind that maybe just do not fulfill you and do not help you move forward. And I think there's this big thing around you being fearful that if you don't go, or if you don't sort of take on every opportunity, that you'll never have another opportunity. And that's not the case, right? That probably is not the case for your situation. It's probably not, right? Just remember that the universe is an infinitely abundant place, okay? Especially now in 2022 and in the 2022 decades here. There are so many opportunities in general, but there are so many opportunities to make money. I read tarot cards on YouTube, right? There are other people on YouTube who, I don't know if you've ever watched the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm just going on a little bit of a tangent here. But there are literal people who commentate on the MCU, on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all day, and that's their job. And so, there are other people who do very interesting things as well. So, there are so many opportunities. And even though, and it's almost like some of you are just giving a lot to your current situation, and perhaps it may help for you to have this perspective that reinvention and reinventing yourself is totally possible in 2022. Now, on your thoughts, on your awareness, or on your mind here, you have the Chariot. That there is a there's an obstacle to jump over, and you can do it, okay? You can absolutely do it. The Chariot is successfully jumping over the hurdle, or jumping over the obstacle, going right through it. It is a big victory. It is a card of self-discipline. And it is a card of victory. And you know that this is probably something that it's time, right? It's almost like it's time for you here. And yeah, I get the sense that this is something that's in your mind pretty heavily in this moment here. In the subconscious, what you can't see or the hidden here, you do have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is action. It is taking advantage of opportunities, seizing the day. I would say look out. There's definitely movement here above and below in your thoughts and in your subconscious. I definitely think that there's something moving in, something moving out. we go through these different cycles in life, and it's almost like I think that some of you would be pretty amazed what might enter into your life if you just did a little bit of letting go of whatever you're sort of overworked in at this time. I almost do feel like something new would arrive, and you'd probably be like, whoa, I never expected this. And you'd probably end up realizing that it's because you detached a little bit. In the staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Three of Swords. Man, you have your heart in something here, okay? Like, you give your heart to something, Scorpio. 100%. Like, you go, and I understand this, like, you totally, if for you something's not worth doing if you're not going to do it 110%. And it's almost like there is this space in your heart where you're maybe having a little bit of hard time letting go of something. I know I sound like a broken record here, but the Three of Swords is heartbreaking, but I feel like it's less about like separation, divorce. It could be, but I feel like it's less about that in this case, and I feel like it's more about you being so emotionally invested into something. And like I said, this could be work related here, as you have the King of Wands in the problem position. Like, you may even have like a project that you call your baby. Like, I don't know, not a lot of people are building apps these days. I mean, some people are, but it's like a very challenging endeavor. It's a very costly endeavor, but it's like maybe you built an app and that's just like your baby. Like, and you can't imagine ever like removing yourself from it. And so, it's this kind of interesting thing that's coming in here. In the external situation, you have the Page of Swords. There's going to be like a real slowing down here for you. The Page of Swords can maybe bring about news of delay, can bring disappointing news, especially in the external, but I don't know if that's it. I think it's like a real slowing down. I think some of you may be a little bit forced. Like, there may be like a forced situation here where it's like, okay, for whatever, like, okay, maybe all of a sudden, you have, like, I don't know, maybe you get, gosh, that's a bad example with where we are. Okay, maybe that's a really bad example. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to come up with the right example. Maybe you have a stomach ache, okay? Maybe you have a stomach ache and you're forced to bed rest for like, 3 days or whatever the case may be. There's a reason why that would happen, and it's because it's the universe and your body telling you it's time to slow down, Scorpio. It's time to detach a little bit here. And I do feel like it's not doom and gloom. It may not be illness or anything like that, okay? So don't stress out about that. It could be anything. Maybe it's a car bill or, I don't know, something like this here. There's going to potentially be something that comes in that asks you to take a period of rest, and there's probably a deeper meaning to why that's happening. In the external influence, in the hopes and fears, you have the Queen of Swords. Look, Queen of Swords takes their sword and they cut through whatever is no longer working or serving them, okay? I like to call the Queen of Swords the assassin in the tarot because they go after something relentlessly, and I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a positive way. They have an extreme focus. That's a better way of putting it. They have an extreme focus towards something. But we see in this reading that there's maybe a little bit of stepping back, okay? And is the focus becoming an attachment, right? In the outcome, you have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is a major card of financial independence. It's your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, not needing to be supported by anybody, but showing up for yourself. You having done a lot of work for yourself here to be able to provide for yourself and take care of yourself, right? It's a major card of maybe even enjoying a little bit of luxuries in one's life. I do feel like some of you are very successful here. Like, I feel like I'm talking to like a successful group in this reading. And it's like, maybe it's time to take a trip, a weekend trip, or just take a day or two off. Like, maybe, unpopular advice these days, but maybe that is, maybe that's something that some of you are maybe considering. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 cards here. So you have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands, and you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, I mean, look, Eight of Swords person really, the Eight of Swords, it says there's a solution available, but they can't see it right now. It can bring about a solution, but you must hurdle over the imprisonment of your mind. Like, you must jump over the imprisonment of your mind here. They are trapped in this sword imprisonment. As you can see, each sword represents a thought. The solution's out there, but you must sort of take a step back. The Page of Wands represents an offer or good news coming into your life. It's also an energizing message. Like, you may be feeling more energized as you take a step back. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles as well, which is a major blessing of abundance. It doesn't always have to be, again, it doesn't always have to be a financial blessing. It can just be abundance, whatever you're looking to receive in one's life. Abundance is just your ability to receive. And so it's a very, very nice card. But again, I feel like some of you have certainly done some nice work here with the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles showing up for sure. You also here, you have bad health, courtship, and sudden wealth. So it was interesting. I was bringing in that strange health example. I'm not a medical professional. I can't give medical advice, obviously. I'm not concerned about your health. If you feel concerned, you should absolutely just like click off this video and like contact your doctor or whatever the case may be. But you know, it is interesting. I feel like the health here is not about injury, illness, physical ailments. I think the health here is the attachment, as this landed right on the Devil card. The health here is your negative thinking, probably more so in alignment with this reading. Courtship, sudden wealth, definitely somebody interested in you in terms of potentially hiring you. You may be getting, you know, headhunted, or, you know, you may be a good prospect for a job. Sudden wealth is like, there is something really nice developing here in your financial situation, but not until you let go, not until you let go. So incredible. I'm excited to see where this goes here for you, Scorpio. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I will see you in the next reading.